Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and I've done several videos on the D'Cent Biometric Wallet, the world's first biometric wallet that has a fingerprint reader for safe and secure personal access. But today I wanted to cover a special case, just in case your device gets lost, stolen, or damaged. It could happen, and it could be very stressful for you, but all you have to do is buy a new device and restore using your backup phrase. This can be stressful and daunting, but I'm going to show you how to do it quick and easy. I'll walk you through every step. Also, while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and show you how to update the firmware. It's also very quick and easy, so I'll walk you through that as well. So let's jump in. All right, so when you're using the D'Cent wallet, this is the device that holds the private key. This device is used for signing transactions and verification. It does not hold the crypto per se. The crypto is stored on the blockchain, but it does give you access to the crypto. The app here is the public-facing part of the wallet. This is the part of the wallet where you can see your balances, manage your accounts, and look at your transaction history. So if you were to lose this device, then you would no longer be able to access the crypto in the app. The only way to manage the crypto is with the device. So I know it's frustrating, but if you lose this device, this app is not going to do you any good. I get a lot of people that'll say, I see it in my app. Can I access it once my device is gone and I've lost my seed phrase? And I say, unfortunately, no. You can see it, but you can't touch it. So in the case of your crypto in your D'Cent app, you'll need to buy a brand new device. And once you've got that brand new device, you're going to need to do a restore. So we don't even need to deal with the app right now. We'll do this directly on the device. And we're going to need our seed phrase here. Now, when you first buy the device, it may or may not have enough charge to get started. That's no big deal. All you have to do is plug it into any USB cable, like a charging cable that's connected to a charging brick or a charging outlet, something like that. You don't have to connect it to your computer when you're doing this restore. I know that makes people nervous. So you just need to give it power or charge it ahead of time, and then you can do this completely disconnected if you want to. So this is what it looks like when you first start up a D'Cent wallet. You'll choose your language, right? And then this is the OK button. This is for confirmation, and then you've got these navigation buttons up and down, and you have this button over here as a back out button. So in the case of myself, I'm going to choose English. All right, and this is where you choose how you want to set up this device. You can set it up as brand new, or you can recover an existing wallet. So a lot of people make the mistake of setting up the device as brand new and thinking somehow they're going to access their crypto. It doesn't work like that. This seed phrase that you wrote down is the cryptographic key that will allow this device to access the exact same cryptographic key. That's what the backup phrase is for. And even if you backed it up when you first bought it and it was empty, if you've added anything since then, it'll all be tied to this same seed phrase. So if you've got a lot of crypto in your app and you need to get access to it, this is the way to do it. So all we have to do is take our recovery seed, and just as an aside, this is not my real recovery seed. This is an old recovery seed. It does not have access to any crypto. So don't worry, I'm not exposing my crypto hardware wallet to you guys. I'm just showing you how to do a restore, and I want to keep it clear and concise. So I'm not going to blur anything out. This is just a test seed phrase. All right, so all we have to do is navigate down here to Recover Wallet, hit OK, and then set up a PIN for ourselves. It'll force us to do that first. Once we choose a digit, we'll hit OK and it will advance to the next slot, and then you'll choose your next digit. Once you get to that fourth digit, will allow you to click OK to finish, but I would suggest using 8 digits. All right, it's telling me that I have a low security on this one because I chose a short one, but this is just a demo. So it will warn you if your PIN is too short. All right, now set up your fingerprint. I like to use my thumb. I find it's an easy way to just kind of hold the device and access it. It's very delicate, so just hold your finger over there. And you don't want to hold it too long. Don't just mash it on there. You might want to try different sections of your finger or thumb so it gets a better sense of the entire area. Just like you would if you're setting up Touch ID on an iPhone. All right, and once it's registered your fingerprint, it's going to ask you to verify to open up the device. All right. Now, it's going to ask us to enter those words in. So you've got a little interface here. So you can move up or down to choose your word. So my first word is seat, so I'll just go up to S. And then advance to the next character, and then go to E, advance, and then A. And then once I've chosen 3, and hit enter, then it's going to give me a choice of all the words that start with SEA. So I'll just scroll down and find my word, which is seat, and hit OK. Now it'll tell me I'm on word number 2. So my next word is main, so I'll just go up till I hit to M. Go to the next letter. A is already in there. Go to the next letter. Go to I. And now I need to scroll down and find my word main, and then I'll hit OK. All right, and then the next word that I have is found. So I'll just go up to F, and then O, and then U. All right, and in this case, there's only one word that starts with FOU, and it just presents that as the only option. I'll click OK. And then we go to the next word and so on until we've gotten through all 24 words. If at any time you've entered the wrong word or gotten confused, or you can back out of the word you're on, or you can hit the back button to get all the way out and start over again if you need to. And once you put in that last word, it's going to show you the list of words, and you can just scroll through them and double check to make sure everything's fine. If you notice that any of your words are incorrect, just click OK, and it'll give you the option of re-entering that word on the list. And you can back out of that. Just scroll down through all of your words until you get to the bottom. Okay, and once you're at the bottom, you'll just hit I am ready there and just click OK. And then it's going to process. All right, and then it'll say, congrats, your wallet is ready to use. You'll just click OK. And if, of course, if you lost your phone, you can set it up on a new phone if you want to. But a lot of you probably just lost the device itself and still have your phone. It takes you back to this home screen here. So just be on the home screen when you sync your app back up to the device. Up here on the top is the little Bluetooth icon. Notice it's red and it has a line through it. So just tap that. It's going to see your device. Just tap that. And it's going to resync. All right, now you'll notice that my crypto accounts were showing there just a second ago, and now they're not. But don't freak out. All you have to do is add the accounts, and the balances will be there again. So just go to Add Account. I'm going to choose Bitcoin. You can name this whatever you want. Hit Add Account. All right, and then you can just back out here. Going to warn us about that firmware. And lo and behold, your Bitcoin account is back. And that's because when you did that restore, you set the cryptographic key of the device. That cryptographic key was responsible for generating all the wallets, and it's deterministic. So every time you do a restore and re-add your accounts, they'll be the same address that they were before. So you saw in my app earlier that I had a couple more accounts. So I'm going to add Ethereum. You can name this whatever you want. Okay, we got the Ethereum account on there. You can see my balance has gone up. And then I had Solana on there as well. Now, if you don't remember all the cryptos on there that you had on there before, you'll just have to add accounts until you find ones that have balances, basically. I mean, I'm assuming you have a pretty good idea what cryptos were in there before. All right, and so we're back to the original balance. So that's all you have to do. Restore the device, sync it back up to the app, and just re-add your accounts, and you're back in business. Now let's update that firmware. All right, so in order to update the firmware, what you want to do is go to the settings. It'll show your device up here. You'll tap these three dots, and then you choose firmware update. All right, and this has to be done on your computer on their official website. So make sure you go to this address that they've given you. Don't do a Google search or anything like that. You can share the URL with yourself. All right, so you can use that share button to email the URL to yourself, or you can simply type it into your browser address bar referring to your phone. Either way, you'll hit enter. All right, and it's going to take you to this firmware update page. Now, remember, in this case, you will need to use a cable that is connected to your computer. So you want to just connect your device with a USB cable to your computer. And then all you have to do is update the firmware with this button right here. All right, I've got my device connected. I'll hit update firmware. Everything, make sure the device is powered on and unlocked, right? It has to be unlocked for you to do this. All right, this is the browser connect window. So when you click this button, make sure you click your D'Cent device. All right, it detects my device. It's going to take about 3 minutes, and make sure that the device stays on during this update. All right, so we'll hit start update. We'll press this button to reload into bootloader mode. So we'll hit OK. We'll hit that button there. And you'll notice your device is going to reboot at this point. Okay, you'll see progress on your screen and on your device. Turn your device completely off and then turn it back on again. And then you'll authenticate with your fingerprint again. And it'll take you back to the account settings. And then from there, you'll just continue the firmware update. Okay, you'll see progress on your screen and on your device. And then it'll tell you you're at the latest version. All right, once you've rebooted the device completely, you'll be back. All right, you can go back into your wallet. And then when you're at the home screen of the device, just tap here. Choose your device. And then after you reboot into the new firmware, it's going to do that same. There you go. It resynced, and I didn't have to re-add the accounts after the firmware update. And then you can go over to the settings and tap the three dots, and it shows you that you're on the latest firmware update now. Right? There's no alert to update the firmware, and you're in good shape. Keeping the firmware up to date is very important. Gives you all the latest features, security fixes, and bug fixes. So if you have any questions about anything I said, please throw them up in the comments, and I'll do my best to get them answered.